Good day, everyone. So I'm glad that today I was able to hit infinity with my Storm Doom deck that I will show you in a second. At the start of this season, I started playing Junk deck that looks like this, and it's a little bit strange because it has Blue Marvel and Grandmaster. So the idea of this deck is that you wanna activate debris twice with Grandmaster, then you can buff your rocks with Blue Marvel, and in return the opponent would have less places to place his cards. Um, I actually got a little bit bored of this deck, so I started from level 73 to 93 yesterday. This morning I switched back to my reliable Storm Doom deck. So I hit Infinity with Storm Doom deck about 3 times. The last 2 seasons I hit Infinity with Storm Doom deck, which had Zabu and Eliath. That's before the nerf. So this is the deck I use this season, and you don't really need to have Nocturne in this deck. But let's talk about it. So basically, the necessary cards for this deck is that you want to play Storm, White Widow, Doctor Doom, Miss Marvel, and Vision. So the idea is that you want to spread out your cheap cards like Nightcrawler, Medusa, Jeff, Nocturne. So these cards would give you priority. Um, and also you can gain priority with Miss Marvel as you spread your cards. This is because you want to play Alive on turn 6, which can help you if the opponent has an on-reveal card. Um, but also don't forget that you get 5 from Miss Marvel. Yeah, you get 5 plus power, so probably you have 13. At least 13 you get from Eliath with Miss Marvel and another card. So the best strategy here is you play Nabala on turn 1, Medusa or White Widow on the same location. So better that you play White Widow because she's plus 6 power with her Widow's Kiss. Then you wanna lock down the location with Storm. On turn 4 you could play Miss Marvel in the center, or you could play Nocturne with Nightcrawler. And on turn 5 you play Vision, then Doom or Eliath. So overall it's not a bad deck. I was able to achieve Infinity from level 93 this morning in under 1 hour. So um, if you did like I said, you play Nepala center, Medusa center, or White Widow, Storm into Miss Marvel. So potentially you could lock down the center location. But also remember that you might want to leave one space for Doomsbot. So you could do Nepala, White Widow, Storm into Doom. Or you could do, for example, White Widow, Storm, Miss Marvel, Doomspot. And I think this is enough to win Storm's location. Um, so how can you win the other location is that, well, let's say if you do 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? So let's ignore Doom's turn on turn 6. You could do 5 and also 5 from Miss Marvel on the other location, and you could get Uh, you could get 8 on turn 5 play vision, and you could also do Eliath on the last turn. This is 16 plus 5 from Miss Marvel, so this is 21. So there are a lot of ways that you can win with this deck. You can also confuse the opponent with Nocturne and Vision. So you can always surprise the opponent with these two cards as well as Nightcrawler and of course plus 5 power from Miss Marvel. And I added Nightcrawler because it helps you activate uh, Miss Marvel's ability. So you get 7 power from Nightcrawler and Miss Marvel's ability. 7 at least, then you can add Vision, this is 15, or you can add 12 Nocturne. So it's the idea of this deck is to confuse your opponent about where you can spread out your points. And of course, Shang-Chi here, he can be a win condition if you lose your priority. So you also need to consider whether you should win priority. If you want to lose your priority, you could play Shang-Chi against, for example, destroy their big cards like Null, or you could play Light if you expect them to play unrevealed cards. And in this situation, you want to win priority. So how can you win or lose priority? It depends on how can you spread your cards that can move. For example, Knight, Jeff, Nocturne, and Vision. So if you wanna lose priority, then play them in the same location. So make your opponent win 2 locations. If you wanna win your priority, then you wanna spread out these 1, 2, 3, 5 cards. So let's talk about which cards that probably you don't have and you wanna consider playing this deck. Uh, so right off the bat, I would like to remove Aliyah and Nocturne. So what kind of card you can have instead? Instead of Aliyah, you could add Red Hulk. I don't have Red Hulk, so um, but if you have him, then add Red Hulk. He can be a win condition. Especially if you try to lose priority and play Red Hulk, so you can evade their Shang-Chi. Probably Magneto is also another one to consider. But Elliot actually is good because he's more of a control card, which works in this deck. Alright, so what if you don't have Nocturne? If you don't have Nocturne, then I would recommend something like Iron Lad. Iron Lad can copy Doom, Vision, Miss Marvel, Storm, Jeff, and Medusa, which can be a big card. So I would suggest playing Iron Lad on the center location. He can also copy White Widow, so maybe I will actually add him. And if you don't have Iron Lad, then you can add, for example, Jessica. Jessica Jones, she can get quite big after you play Storm, then play Jessica. So you can guarantee a location with Storm, or if you can't, then play her left or right, not in the center location where you're gonna lock with Storm. Then probably you will ignore that location to make her bigger. Another card that you can add is the old combo Storm with Juggernaut. Move away all enemy cards played this turn. Um, in the meantime, I will continue playing this deck the way it is, but let's see what the game suggests if you remove those 2 cards. So Angel into Kitty Pryde, which I don't think they're compatible. I want to show you the stats of both decks that I used this season. Alright, so we can see here I played Junk first, and I played 77 games from level 73 to 93, then I switched. I did okay with it, but I think now a lot of people play this deck, Junk deck, not particularly the same deck, the Blue Marvel variant, and I don't think this is the best Junk deck, but I just like to play something different. And this morning I switched to Storm Doom deck. I played 17 games, and I was able to achieve Infinity from level 93 to Infinity in under 1 hour. And I averaged 2.8 cubes per game versus 0.88. And actually, a lot of people snapped on me at least 3 matches where I earned 8 cubes each match. This is the 24. Half of my cubes actually came from those matches where my opponent just snapped and I snapped back because they didn't expect Eliath. So this is the beauty of not playing decks that are popular on internet. So I'm a little bit against net decking. It's not that fun to play cards that are famous on internet. So people didn't really expect Storm after you play White Widow, and they didn't expect Eliath or the 5 points you get from Miss Marvel. And this is something that I enjoy to play. Alright, so let's take a look at this deck, how it performed. So this was the last match that I hit Infinity with this deck. Okay, so he was lucky here. Midosa center, and we storm center. So if you don't draw White Widow, you play Midosa instead. So I was thinking maybe I can Nocturne, surprise him on turn 6 to win the right location, but he surprised me with Magic Center. So here I'm thinking maybe I can surprise him with Nocturne on turn 6 and end the game. So I can Nocturne turn 6 center, play something big like Elliot on the left location and win left and center and ignore the right location. So I was thinking maybe if I can just throw away something that I don't need like Shang-Chi, and I was giving away Shang-Chi because I know that I'm not gonna use him. There's also a possibility that I can win the right if it's enough to play Doom 5 and also Shang-Chi. So you get 10 on the right location, or even 15 if you move Nightcrawler with Jeff, surprise him with Nocturne on turn 6, 15 on the right, but you lose the left. So I decided to not do this. So he moved away my Shang-Chi, and this is when I guaranteed that I will play Elliot and surprise him with Nocturne Center. Then I decided that I will continue with my plan, surprise him with Nocturne in the turn, in the game play Elliot, even if he Shang-Chi Elliot, he can't Shang-Chi because Elliot will disable Shang-Chi on reveal cards. Yeah, and he played the same deck that I played at the beginning of this season, which got really boring for me. And here I'm able to achieve infinity with this deck. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something and enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like my video and subscribe.